places. But you, my pony, you run, run, pony, you run. My pony, you run, run, pony, you, my pony, you run, run, pony, you run. My pony, you run, run, pony, you.
Belief is a personal point of view. You may believe in your version of God, seeing into the future, using remote viewers, or what have you. To dismiss another point of view invites nothing short of being abandoned yourself when you want your point of view to be listened to. Placing dismissal or hatred toward another as a point of view is worthless in the view of the universe and your fellow beings in it. Be patient. Be in a state of learning, and you will be rewarded. What follows is my point of view. Take it for what it is worth to you. As we go through this time in the existence of mankind, we are once again entering the times of evil. It is around us, I am convinced, very real, and means to destroy us. I want to make it very clear. I am on the side of good, of freedom, of respect, when respect is given. Well, good evening, you guys. Welcome to another exciting episode of SBI. Let me check and make sure that we are streaming correctly. Okay. According to the show producers, we are live, which is always a good thing when I'm talking into the camera. You know, what really... I probably ought to move over so you can see me. That might be helpful, or I can just do the whole show like this. You know, what really grinds my butt is that these earthquakes happen every damn time there's some deal going on in the sky. First it was the comet Elenin thing, and those other earthquakes, and now it's a stinking asteroid whizzing by in a few days. That would be 2005 YU-55. If you look above the video stream on the right-hand side, just go up, look right, you will see I have a little article all about YU-55. Kind of technical, but it's got some nice links in it. Look at it after the show, because you're watching the show right now. The really weird thing is that Elenin was just a comet. Yeah, we went through the tail and nothing happened that we've noticed, but that just a comet and major earthquakes both had one thing in common. Alignments. Alignments with the planets and the sun. Alignments. Now, not to get the weirdness mojo going on, but these Oklahoma earthquakes, the YU-55 being so close, that's damned odd. Spooky weird. It's just a darn good thing that Elenin came along, or we would be in a blind panic over this asteroid deal by now, because that thing's coming pretty darn close. Because no matter how advanced our technology is, no matter how smart we think we are, no matter how much others try to control us, no matter how much science is understanding the universe, no matter how close we think we are to the truth, we still are somehow still a very, very primitive people. Okay, so maybe I am weird, like you needed evidence about that. But I seem to have the ability to stand back from the whirling dervish of instinctive panic we humans have. Who the hell knows? Maybe I'm half alien or something. Maybe it was all those drugs I did when I was younger. But in the end, my friends, I see several things that really, really disturb me. First, I see that people's instincts are reactive. This means that people react to what they perceive without realizing it. They don't take the time to think things through before something happens. They react to it. And that's why things like the webbot are so important. There is something like 3 billion people on the internet at any one time. And that many people reacting instinctively to events simply cannot be wrong. This other point is much, much more important. The evidence that I see tells me that people act instinctively. Okay, let's accept that for the time being. I don't really care what you believe. I'm telling you, the audience, what I see. Now, these powers that be, the TPTB, the powers that be, that we hear about, the Illuminati, the Bilderbergs, the faceless machine that tries to grind us up in the progressive socialist society movement, and all of these fake revolutions. Aren't they, in the end, humans too? Humans that react instinctively? That react on some cellular level just like the rest of us? Aren't they human? And that, my friends, is what really disturbs me. Because no matter how much power these mystery string pullers have, they are, in the end, human. And the sheeple, the people around me that I interact with on a daily basis, usually do not seem to understand this at all. And that is why I am surrounded by idiots. Testing.
A new world order.
A new world order.
The need for a new world order.
We needed a new world order.
The decline of the dollar is actually a desirable.
And revolt! And revolt! Vote! Vote! And revolt! And revolt! 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 For America! For America!
They say we offer simple answers to complex problems. Well, perhaps there is a simple answer. Not an easy answer, but simple. If you and I have the courage to tell our elected officials that we want our national policy based on what we know in our hearts is morally right, we cannot buy our security, our freedom from the...
You know, let me tell you guys something about doing a live show. Sometimes you forget to turn up the volume on one of the devices. Like the opening credits. It happens. What can you do? So anyways, I'm watching, I'm reading what the production staff is writing in the production message area. Yeah, they thought that was real funny. Hardy, har, har. Anyways, the first story for tonight is something that I thought was very interesting. Hold on a second. Let me check something over here on the old production computer. Oh, yeah, we want to go ahead and kill the text at the bottom of the screen because I don't think you need to see that. At any rate, there's something weird that's going on. It might not be related to anything, but then again it might be, and I think it is worthwhile talking about because, well, after all, it's my show, and if I think it's worth talking about, well, yeah, of course it's worth talking about. Who would have thunk it? At any rate, there is something that's happening, and we'll go to the web browser in just a minute, and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. It could be a case of food poisoning. This could be an effect of the GMO food. Could be something that is basically a problem with the food supply. It could be a common stomach flu or a strep outbreak. At this point, there isn't enough information to accurately work with, but it's something that you and I can both take a look at and follow, because it appears to be something that might actually be happening in real time. And see, the thing is, so let's go over here to the screen, and we'll go ahead and open up the web browser here. Oh, incidentally, before I forget, we have to do our Internet Traffic Report for tonight. The Internet Traffic Report is brought to you by the Small Company Moving Guide. The Small Company Moving Guide for when you're moving a small business, a small company, with, say, 50 or less people. Is a workbook-style publication that can come in handy when you are moving your business. That's the smallcompanymovingguide.com. The Internet Traffic Report tonight, as you can see, is not a happy report. Because this is the InternetTrafficReport.com, by the way, folks. This is something that we do right now. You can see over here where my mouse pointer is. The global index trend is trending down at 72, and that is not a good sign. Now you can see, for those of you that are watching us from the Asian basin, that is down to 58. 58 is not good. When you get into the yellow numbers, like you see here, that is not good. Australia, Europe, and South America all have good internet access right now. North America is actually trending down at 69. That's never a good thing. Let's take a look down here at these numbers. That is never a good thing. Let's go up here to North America and call up the North American page. Now, as you can see, right now it has just bounced up to a value of 71. Now, these are the routers all across North America. These links that you see here that I'm scrolling up and down. You can see the current index number. Closer it is to 100 is perfect. 50 is really bad. You can see right now that we have some, California and Anaheim, California and Fresno, Los Angeles. Those guys are running pretty good. Look at this one in Los Angeles. It's running at 99. But the one in Edmonton, the one in Ontario, the one in Vancouver, they are crap. One of the main router hubs in Iowa, that is at 11. That is bad. One in Chihuahua, Mexico, that is completely offline. We have the Las Vegas is almost gone. New Hampshire is completely offline. Texas is completely offline. Wisconsin is completely offline. And oddly enough, the one here where I happen to live in Michigan, which is right here, where you see my mouse pointer going across, the one in Ypsilanti, Michigan, that's just a little ways away from me, that is at an astounding 93. And over here in this column, you can see the number of packets that are being lost. Currently, here in North America, we are, let me zoom in on that so you can see it good on the stream, right there. You can see total number of routers is 37%. The amount of the internet that is up right now is 83%, and we are losing 23% of all data on the internet right now here in North America. So, there you go. That's your Internet Traffic Report, brought to you by the Small Company Moving Guide. smallcompanymovingguide.com, helping you manage a smooth move. Now, here's something that's pretty interesting. I came across this the other day. I was at some, I don't know, discussion group or something, and they happened to have this on there. This is the Georgia Tech earthquake, Georgia Institute of Science and Technology. This is their little earthquake monitor right here. Let's go back over here. And you can scroll through this thing. Let me move that down there so you can see it. You can see that I'm scrolling through it. And you can see the earthquakes, the tremors and everything right here. Look at this right here. There's a little tremor right there. That's at 3 o'clock in the morning. And as we go through here, you can see there's a little spike right there. The earth tremors. There's one there at 11 o'clock in the morning. Got one there at 11:40 in the morning. That might have, you can see right here at noon, right about at noon, they had a good tremor down in Georgia. You can see all of these different things. Look at this one right here. That's a pretty good tremor right there. The other day they had a rather large, you can see after, what is it here? It is 1800. Going towards now, you can see that they've got a pretty good amount of tremor activity. And you can see, now look at this one right here. Look at these. This is 2 o'clock in the morning. This would be this past morning. Middle of last night. Look at these tremors. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Those guys are pretty big. You can see it down here on this scope right here. That's pretty something. At any rate, I just thought that was interesting. That's at geophysics.eas.georgiatech.edu/GTEQ/number. Yeah, go ahead and try to type that in. Okay, anyways, what I've started doing, and this is going to be up on the website once I get the formula worked out for this. You can see right here the stories that I have, and you can see the stories and all the links that I have to these stories. So let's take a look at this first one. Sudden sickness, Elenin tail. Is it possible that going through the tail of Elenin has caused some issues? Now this is from ABC 13, KTRK-TV, Houston, Texas. I certainly hope that doesn't play live. Of course it is. It's loading the video. No, I don't want you to play live. No, don't. No, don't. Just stop. You stop it right now. Okay, there we go. Now, here's the thing. Let me switch back over here to the camera. Okay, here's the thing. I don't know if this is food poisoning or what have you, GMO. You know, I don't care what kind of flu it is. People don't get hit so fast and hard that the kids at these schools have been getting hit. They're outside and they're just like dozens of people just collapsing in the bleachers. They walk in, they're feeling fine, and in a few minutes or so overcome. The firefighters that showed up were also overcome by whatever this was. They had the hazmat team there sampling the air to see if it was some kind of a bio attack. It's real interesting. Now, 22 kids fell ill at a football game. Firefighters were getting ill. And now they're saying, now keep in mind, this is an outdoor stadium in Texas. where it's warm. They're saying it's carbon monoxide poisoning. Outside? Yeah, I don't think so. At any rate, this is from your KTRK. Let me go ahead and bring the page back up here. The thing I like about this new browser that I'm using is I can zoom in on the screen almost instantly. Look at that. That's astounding. I love this browser. I'll tell you guys about this browser before the show's over. Here we go. This is from KTRK. Nearly 24 people fell ill at a football game Friday night in southeast Houston. All 22 Austin High School students who were taken to the hospital Friday had returned home and were recovering by Saturday morning. No students were hospitalized overnight. Officials said it happened just after halftime, shortly before 9 p.m. Part of the stadium had to be evacuated while a decontamination zone was set up for 6 students. Symptoms included nausea, vomiting, difficulty breathing, coughing, and a scratchy throat. One firefighter was also treated. Okay, let's go back over here and go to the next story. And that is here in Ohio, WTOV.com. And we'll just go down here, and there we go. 13 students taken to hospital after becoming sick at St. John Central. Cause unknown. This is by Kate Davidson. You can see the photograph of the response team there at the school. It is in Bel Air, Ohio. A principal and 13 students are treated at local hospitals after becoming ill at the Belmont County High School. Initially, officials thought the students became ill from a natural gas leak, but Columbia gas workers said there were no signs of a leak. As of 5 p.m., it was still unknown what made the students sick. And now we go over here to our next little link here, right here. Go over here to this one and close that one, close that one. And here we go over at Benzie County, which is somewhere. I am not exactly sure where. But that news guy, he looks darn happy there, considering that he's covering a bunch of students getting sick. Oh, about 100 students were sick Wednesday. This is in Benzie, Colorado. A virus in the school has infected more than 100 students, and health officials have been called in. Some students are out of class Thursday. Everybody had the same symptoms. Vomiting, upset stomach, feeling lousy, dizziness, sore throat. Yeah, you getting the picture? Alrighty, let's go over here to our next one, right here. And nope, that's the same guy. That's the same guy that looks just like way, way too happy. Alright, over here we're going to go to another one, another website, and here we go, Knoxville, Tennessee. Sick Knox County High School students taken to hospital. And there we go. You can see that right here we have Knoxville. Knoxville, Tennessee. 3 ill students at Gibbs High School were taken to East Tennessee Children's Hospital Thursday afternoon. And a later update to this particular story has the symptoms as, guess what? Upset stomach, dizziness, sore throat, inability to breathe. So now we have 6, count them 6 different instances over the past week or so of younger people falling suddenly ill. And I believe that the only reason why we're hearing about younger people falling ill is because older people aren't in a situation where there's a teacher or a principal or somebody that's keeping a very close eye on how well they are. I mean, you could be at work and get suddenly violently sick, and that's not going to get reported to the health department. So who knows how many people this sort of thing has affected. Now, that said, it is the cold and flu season, which started in October here in North America. Be interesting to find out exactly how many instances that we could find of this on Google. I have been looking. I have created a Google News alert that goes into my email inbox and probably at the site sunskyMysteries/social.com. That's sunskyMystery/social.com, or sunskyMysteries.com/social. Never mind, you'll find the place. Wind up confusing myself. It's these cats that keep nattering in my ear in the control room. At any rate, I'm going to go ahead and start posting stories about mystery illnesses and see how many we can track, and maybe even start a Google map so that we can map this. Now, rumor has it, and I don't know if this is true or not because I haven't seen any documentation whatsoever on it, but it could be that the tail of our old friend, Comet Elenin, had arsenic or some type of particles of some type of poison in it that is affecting the population, which is a possibility. But I would think that given the time that it took, that Elenin passed by, and the time it took for us to get there, and the solar wind and radiation and everything else, most of this would have dissipated. But you never know. Who knows? It's one of them there mysteries. That's why we call it sunskyMysteries.com/social. So there you go. Let me check the production area and see what's going on. Oh, look. Here we go. They're trying to get Ted Nugent to come on the show. Bill Xam and Ted Nugent. Oh, good Lord, I need a beer. Bill Xam and Ted Nugent. That's a good one, you guys. Oh, brother. Here's a news flash for you. The FAA is set to ban plane crashes. Washington, D.C., and what officials are calling a much-needed policy shift, the Federal Aviation Administration announced this weekend that it would ban all plane crashes. After careful review of flight data from the past 25 years, we've determined that customers, pilots, and airlines themselves would benefit significantly from a strictly enforced no plane crash policy, said FAA Administrator Randy Babbitt, adding that pilots involved in fiery plane wrecks could face steep fines and even suspension. The practice of crashing an airliner into an ocean or mountain will no longer be tolerated. American consumers deserve better. Apparently, airlines are attempting to fit in as many crashes as they can between now and January 1st, when the ban is set to take place. Our next story, the coming insurrection. Now, those of you that have watched various television shows, I won't name any names, will have told us about the coming insurrection. This is actually written by the Invisible Committee. These are some clowns over there in Europe who are starting up a communist revolution. You know, where they go and like occupy buildings and cities and stuff like that. Incidentally, another news flash, you may not have heard about this because unless you're getting your news from the internet or alternative news sources, you're not going to see this in the mainstream media. Occupy Boston. They have taken over the Israeli embassy. Because what they're doing is by taking over the Israeli embassy, which is actually sovereign Israeli soil, it's the soil of Israel, it's the property of Israel. By taking that over, they're protesting the Israelis building in on the West Bank. The Israeli occupation is what they call it. So apparently you protest occupations by occupation, which doesn't make any sense, but none of this makes any sense to me. Anyways, that's what's happened. The coming insurrection. Let's take a look at the website for that right here. This is, where is this? This is the Arkansas Conservative Action Network. This is one of my more favorite websites. Now, let me zoom in on this so you can see this here. There we go. Let's, Okay, I got that nice and big there. Now you can see that. I love this new browser. It's called The Coming Insurrection. You may have seen this on Glenn Beck, places like that. We'll have the link up and everything at the website. I will make a special page either tonight or tomorrow morning, something like that. So you can go and visit all of these websites that we're talking about. This Coming Insurrection, here's what it says. From whatever angle you approach it, the present offers no way out. This is not the least of its virtues. From those who seek hope above all, it tears away every firm ground. Those who claim to have solutions are contradicted almost immediately. Everyone agrees that things can only get worse. The future has no future. And blah, 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 stuff like that. Oh, I'm still on the camera. That's perfect. Well, there you go. Now you can see the web page. The sphere of political representation has come to a close. From left to right, it's the same nothingness, striking the prose of an emperor or savior, the same blah, 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 yada, yada. At any rate, this is a manifesto from Europe that was written by dyed-in-the-wool communists that want to take over and create a new world order of communism. So on the one hand, you've got the Muslims and the Muslim Brotherhood, and on the other hand, you got the Occupy Wall Street people, and then you got the anarchists running around doing their thing, and then you got the communists over here doing this and that and the other thing, and then you have another group over here, the militias or Christians or whatever, what have you, and they're all like getting all mixed in together. So the whole point, what I'm trying to make, if there is a point at this point, is that we have to be real careful about what we're doing, who we're listening to, and who we believe. Because at this point, don't believe anybody, and especially don't believe me. But don't believe anybody. Do your own research. Find out about this stuff for yourself. So, let's get on to the next story, because I have someplace to be at 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, so it's going to be a pretty quick show tonight, even though I've probably been on for half an hour now. So, a frustrated Barack Obama sends the nation a rambling 75,000-word email. Washington, D.C. Having admittedly reached the end of his rope, President Barack Obama sent a rambling 75,000-word email to the entire nation Monday morning, revealing deep frustrations with America's political culture, his presidency, U.S. citizens, and himself. The email, which was titled A Couple of Things, and wound up being 75,000 words long, addressed countless topics in a dense stream of consciousness rant that often went on for hundreds of words without any punctuation or paragraph breaks. Throughout, the president expressed his aggravation on subjects as disparate as the war in Afghanistan, the sluggish economic recovery, his live-in mother-in-law, and China's undervalued currency, as well as Boston's Logan Airport. According to the timestamp, it was set at 4:26 a.m. Now let's take a look at another. I'm hearing a buzzing sound here in the studio. Hopefully it's not a time bomb that somebody has sent me. Who knows? It's probably the server overheating and will go off the air again. At any rate, let's take a look at this next story, which I thought was pretty cool. Anything to do with space, the investigation of space, space travel. This comes to us from Popular Science. That's popsci.com. Let's take a look over here at this. I believe the cooling fan in the server has decided to start making noise, which is about right. Now let's go over here and China. There we go. The Chinese, Schnatzen, whatever the hell they call it, spacecraft successfully docks with an orbiting module. And you can see a couple of pictures of it there. Journey toward a Chinese space station has taken a huge step forward. Yesterday, China's Schnatchu 8 spacecraft, launched earlier this week, successfully docked with country's Tainagong 1 space module, which is placed in orbit by an earlier launch. Now, this is obviously mid-1960s kind of a thing where they did their first docking, but I don't care if they're communist or not. It's good to see another country getting up into space. That's I'm into space stuff. Anything to do with space, I'm in it. As a matter of fact, I got a really cool launch video of a spaceship. I'll show you guys that tomorrow night. Now let's go on to another story. Apparently, United States Air Force, nobody in the Air Force is bothered to watch any of the Terminator movies because they're at it again. And apparently, the Air Force is now officially attempting to end the world. I got no idea what these clowns are doing at this point. Let's go over here and hold on a minute. Let me go over here, turn it onto the screen, go like this. Wow. We don't want your stupid ad. No, I don't want to take your stupid idiots. There we go. Okay. Don't you know what I'm trying to do a show here and they're showing me ads. Here we go. The Air Force has made a micro-aviary for tiny flying robots, a place for them to call home. Yeah, you're probably all just sitting around the Pentagon going, hey, how can we end the world? I know, we can build robots that will destroy us. So there you go. There's a picture of a tiny robotic dragonfly. Don't know if it has enough power to destroy the world or not, but there you go. They have, you can see there's the control room right there where apparently this Air Force officer is watching one of those V-shaped flying saucers. You saw it here first on Surrounded by Idiots with Bill Xam. Air Force guy watching the big triangle UFO right there on his screen. How do you like that? Let's see if we can zoom in on this some more. So you can see that. There it is. Look at that. There's that triangle-shaped UFO right there. It looks like a bunch of other UFOs there. Okay, so anyways, everything from bird-like flapping wing drones to cyborg insects controlled by microcomputers now have a micro-aviary at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which oddly enough is where they took the UFOs from Roswell. In Ohio, there have tiny flying robots, which will be the central focus. And aside from being drone-centric, it's one sweet center-filled laboratory. Yeah, that's what they said in the Terminator movies, too. Boy, that's really cool. Wait till they destroy us. The microaviary will specialize in what the DoD has deemed the next generation of intelligence and military robot capabilities. Now, just hold on one damn second here. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, good. I've got the screen up for you guys. As the microaviary, tiny helicopters will mix with robot dragonflies and hovering robot hummingbirds in a space walled by motion sensors that can track drones that fly there to within about 1/10 of an inch. Data from these sensors will not only evaluate the performance of the drones that are there, but inform the design future generations of flapping wing drones and stealthy micro-helos. So, let me see if I can get this straight. The Air Force has built this aviary for tiny flying robots and drones that are, about that big. So they can like fly around. What are they going to do with tiny, tiny flying drones? Obviously, they can't carry missiles with them. What would you do with something the size of a fly that you could fly around like in buildings and stuff? What could you possibly do with something like that? Huh. Very, very interesting. Notice I'm carefully staying away from the old Big Brother spying on us thing. I never said that. Once again, the guys in these... Yeah, okay, I'm looking at the production chat room now. I already know that. Never mind, I can't say that. Let's just say we have Ted Nugent's locale, and it is exactly 30 miles in that direction from me. You could drive out there. Got the address. It's right here on my computer screen. Me and Ted Nugent on the air. Hey, imagine I could have Ted Nugent right here next to me. Or right here next to Ted Nugent. That just cracks me up. You guys crack me up. I got the best production staff. Breaking news. A date with a proctologist ends predictably. After watching the television version of the news, a man checks his wallet to make sure his money is all still there. And a new iTunes upgrade lets users download the new Elton John album directly to the computer's recycle bin. Oh, let me see here. Here's our last story for the night. I'm in so much of a good mood I don't want to ruin it by showing you this story, but what the heck? Let's do it. All right, this came out a little while back. Oh, wait a minute. I got an even better story for it. We're going to... Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Okay. We're going to end the show tonight with this particular story. This is one of those things where you say to yourself, I knew it. So let's go over to the computer screen here. And you're going to say to yourselves, yeah, why am I not surprised by this? Because I'm not, even though it's really a serious story. I'm still going to laugh about it because, well, I'm Bill Xam, and I laugh about everything. Besides, I'm still pretty geeked up about having Ted Nugent right there. Right there. Alrighty, here we go. No, I don't want to download your stupid file. No. Just stop it. Okay, here we go. Here is, as you know, the current administration. This is from hotair.com. Hotair.com. This is posted on, let me see, November 5th by Tina Korb, or Corby, or however she pronounces her name. Now, for those of you that don't know, and I can't imagine that you wouldn't know, there was an operation called Fast and Furious, where the government decided what they were going to do is take a whole bunch of automatic weapons and send them to the drug cartels in Mexico. What a brilliant idea, so they could track the guns. Well, of course, the usual mayhem ensued, and one of our Border Patrol agents was killed by one of the guns. A bunch of other people have been killed by the other guns, and there's now one of those great big Watergate-style cover-ups within the administration about, I didn't know about it, he knew about it. No, I didn't know about it, he knew about it. I have no idea what happened. Well, they told me about that like 3 months after this whole thing happened, and I said, oh my God, you can't do something like that. You got to stop doing that right now. Of course, nobody knew about it, and at the same time, everybody knew about it, and, well, all kinds of mayhem is breaking loose. But it gets better because, check this out, predictably, Democratic lawmakers say Fast and Furious proof of need for harsher gun laws. So let me get this straight. The government does something illegal by buying a bunch of automatic weapons, sending them across over the border to Mexico so the Mexicans could shoot up a bunch of people here in America, and now we need stricter gun laws? How about if we just get rid of the people that did it in the first place? At any rate, over here, the right on cue, Democratic lawmakers have begun to say that the Department of Justice's lethal and irresponsible Fast and Furious program underscores the need for stricter gun control laws. Here we go. We got a quote here. Oh, from our old friend Dianne Feinstein. This hunt for blame doesn't really... Hold on, let me do her voice. This hunt for blame doesn't really speak about the problem, said Senator Dianne Feinstein at a recent Senate Judiciary hearing while discussing Fast and Furious. And the problem is anybody can walk in and buy anything, a 50 caliber weapons, sniper weapons, buy them in large amounts and send them down to Mexico. So the question really becomes, what are we going to do about this? The ranking Democrat, House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, Elijah Cummings of Maryland, and Representative Karen Maloney, Democrat of New York, have introduced a dedicated firearms trafficking statute, but it has stalled in the House Judiciary Committee. Republicans have rightly pushed back against this narrative. And here we go. We're going to get Representative Joe Walsh right here as you can see on the screen right there. Hopefully everybody can see that. And Representative Joe Walsh said, this is not only raises serious questions about our ability to serve as the head of the Justice Department, but also begs the questions of why anti-gun administration would knowingly force licensed firearms dealers to sell guns to violent criminals. I understand this is because Operation Fast and Furious, if the facts of this case had not come to light, would have been used by this administration as another false argument to attack law-abiding citizens and gun owners. Again, I'll go back to my point. Maybe it'd be better if we didn't have any of these clowns in Washington anymore, and next November, every single damn one of them is gone. And first point of business for the new administration will be to round up every lobbyist and put them in, I don't know, RFK Stadium or something like that for 4 years. I could sit and watch football games, baseball games, or whatever the hell they do there. I really don't care. But these clowns got to do something to fix this stuff. And stuff like this is stupid. It defies logic. Utterly defies logic. We caused a problem, so now we're going to make a rule so that problem doesn't happen again. That's insane. We have a call coming in on Skype. This is Patrick. Hopefully, Patrick has turned down the audio on the stream. Patrick, you're on the air. How are you this evening? I can see Patrick. Hopefully he has turned down. Patrick, can you hear me? Apparently Patrick cannot hear us, even though we are apparently broadcasting to him without any problem. Patrick, can you hear us? Well, we're going to have to, sadly, end the call because it does not appear that we were able to make contact. Maybe he will call back, maybe not. At any rate, that's about it for the show. I got nothing else for you guys tonight after that Fast and Furious thing. That and Ted Nugent. Getting Ted Nugent in here, that'd be hysterical. So, anyways, we're about done with the show. Remember, drive carefully out there because this time of the year there's little kids running around. When a car hits a car, that's an accident. When a car hits a child, that's a tragedy. So, we are just about done with the show, and Patrick is calling. Hopefully this time we have our audio problems solved. Patrick, are you there? Can you hear us now? Patrick, are you there? Okay, we've got that, and participants do this and do that. Oh, we've got good audio, and everything is going good. We got that going. Speakers up, so Patrick should be able to talk. We're not sending video because we don't have a webcam hooked up to this. And, well, we can hear me, but we can't hear Patrick. Well, hopefully, tomorrow night when we have our guest on, I see Patrick, but I can hear him clicking on his keyboard and his mouse, but let's take his hat off there. So, not sure what's going on there, but that's how things go on live television. Tomorrow night we're going to have a retired Special Forces recon expert telling us all about survival and survival skills and what we need to do to survive in the elements when we have to be out there. So tune in tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for our next exciting show here on Surrounded by Idiots, and we are out of here.